Recently, Russia's Superjet completed a milestone test flight, marking a major breakthrough in aviation and showcasing advancements in the country's aerospace industry. Russia has taken a significant step toward aviation self-sufficiency with the successful test flight of its SJ-100 Superjet, which now features entirely domestically produced PD-8 engines. This milestone, announced by state-owned Rostec on Monday, represents a crucial advancement in Moscow's broader strategy to eliminate reliance on Western-made components. The initiative gained urgency after sanctions were imposed on Russia following the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in 2022, restricting access to foreign aircraft parts and technology. To address these challenges, Russian engineers launched the SJ-100 program, replacing approximately 40 imported systems with indigenous alternatives. Key upgrades include domestically developed avionics, landing gear, auxiliary power units, and control mechanisms. At the heart of these modifications is the PD-8 engine, designed and manufactured by the United Engine Corporation, which plays a crucial role in ensuring the aircraft's operational independence from Western technology. During its test flight, the Superjet SJ-100 remained airborne for approximately 40 minutes, reaching speeds of 500 kilometers per hour and attaining an altitude of 3,000 meters. Rostec reported that engineers conducted extensive assessments of the gas dynamic stability of the PD-8 engines under various conditions. The engines demonstrated full operational stability, and the flight successfully met all predefined performance objectives, marking a crucial validation of the aircraft's capabilities. Dmitry Yadrov, head of Russia's Federal Air Transport Agency, Rosaviatsia, underscored the importance of the SJ-100 project in strengthening the country's aviation sector. He emphasized that achieving certification for the PD-8-powered aircraft is a fundamental step toward ensuring Russian airlines' independence from foreign-made equipment and spare parts. According to Yadrov, domestic air traffic is expected to grow significantly, with projections indicating a 1.5-fold increase by 2030. This anticipated expansion makes the SJ-100 a cornerstone of Russia's aviation strategy, as it aims to meet the rising demand for air travel with fully domestically produced aircraft. The Superjet SJ-100 was initially developed with a combination of Russian and foreign components, but in response to the 2022 sanctions, Sukhoi initiated efforts to transition the aircraft to a fully homegrown model. The successful test flight of the PD-8-powered SJ-100 marks a major step toward achieving technological self-sufficiency within Russia's aviation industry. This shift not only reinforces the country's ability to manufacture complex aeronautical systems, but also reduces its vulnerability to external supply chain disruptions. By continuing to develop and certify domestically built aircraft, Russia is positioning itself to maintain a robust aviation sector, despite ongoing geopolitical pressures. Superjet. Sukhoi Superjet 100 is a Russian civil aircraft of the new generation, the first domestic in post-Soviet history. It was created by the Russian airline Sukhoi Civil Aircraft, with the participation of several foreign companies. It holds just over 100 passengers and has a flight range of 3,000 to 4,500 kilometers, depending on the modification. In the early 2000s, Soviet aircraft manufactured in the 1970s and 1980s flew between Russian cities. However, nothing lasts forever, and the issue of replacing the old civil aircraft fleet became increasingly urgent. in order to support the production of modern competitive aircraft in Russia. A program for the development of civil equipment and aviation was launched. The Russian Aviation and Space Agency has announced a competition for state support for a project to create an aircraft that would replace the Soviet Tu-134 airliners with a capacity of 76 to 80 people. 3 projects have entered the competition. The Russian regional jet, which later became known as the Sukhoi Superjet, won the competition. The aircraft was developed in cooperation with the American company Boeing and other foreign companies. It was assumed that equipment with components from global companies would be easier to certify and then sell for export. In 2006, the first Superjet was assembled and 5 years of testing and trials began, following which the aircraft received the necessary certificates and documents, including a paper from EASA, the European Aviation Safety Agency. It allows the aircraft to be operated abroad. The number 100 was later added to the name Superjet, meaning a 100-seat aircraft. This is the capacity that the Superjet developers considered the most optimal for a regional aircraft. In 2007, the Superjet was presented, and on May 19, 2008, in Komsomolsk-on-Amur, where the aircraft are assembled, the short-haul airliner Sukhoi Superjet 100 made its first flight. The Sukhoi Superjet 100 aircraft was equipped with 2 SAM-146 turbofan engines during its creation. The engines were created by PowerJet, a joint venture between the Russian Saturn and the French Snecma. Since the start of production by August 2023, Sukhoi Civil Aircraft has produced 230 SJ-100 units. However, only about 150 aircraft were used on Russian airline routes. In 2019, the components of the Superjets began to be replaced with Russian ones. Already in 2023, the first aircraft flew in which 40 systems and units were replaced. Of the domestic ones, the first prototype flies on Franco-Russian SAM-146 engines, but the second one is promised to be equipped with completely Russian engines. The model equipped with a Russian engine will be called Sukhoi Superjet Nu, and 120 to 130 billion rubles have been allocated for its development. About half of the planned budget will go to the creation of the domestic PD-8 engine.